Good morning. I don't know if I'm in shot here, but we'll see, hopefully. Morning. Trying to be a bit more professional about this. I'm going to give you an address first of all. Okay, it's it's Tuesday. When I came on Saturday to inspect my bees, I discovered that the hive we're going to look at was queenless, or apparently queenless. It was a new queen, should have mated and been in by now. Now, I'm suspicious that the queen never made it back from her mating flight, and as a result there are no eggs, no brood, or there weren't any. So I'm just going to give these a quick check in a minute. I'm going to see if there's any sign of eggs or brood, and I'm going to put a new queen in. But before I do that, I'm going to do the gold standard test, which is to put a frame of eggs and brood in to see what the bees do about it. Now, if there is a virgin queen in there, she may, basically they won't do anything, an unmated or a failed mated virgin, another one perhaps she couldn't get out because of the weather, if you put another queen in, she'll kill her. So we're just going to check to see what the current situation is. Now, they were roaring a bit, which makes me think they're queenless. And as I said, there's no sign of eggs and brood. But by putting a frame of eggs and brood in now, because they've been queenless for so long, they will attempt to make queen cells if they are queenless. Now, what I will do is on Friday, and as I said, today's Tuesday, what I will then do is I will remove any queen cells they've started, and I shall put a good queen in. I've got some queens on order, and I'll just get a donor frame of eggs and brood from another hive to do that. The other possibility is if they cap it and don't do anything, then there is a queen in there which may not have started laying, or, as I said, worse still, a failed mating, a virgin that never mated, in which case I'm going to have to do something a bit more serious about that, but I'll talk to you about that later. So that's today's job. Very quickly have a look through, and we'll see how it goes. So I'm afraid this is going to be warts and all. There's no covering up. Whoops, there's no covering up, there's no editing. We'll just see what's going to happen. Off with the lid. It is rather a shame, because this is one of my best performing colonies, and in fact one of the problems with this one now is, because having any work to do with brood, they've actually managed to fill the entire thing up with honey. So let's just take these off for the moment. Now, normally I go straight for the box at the bottom. A lot of drones in here as well. That's always a sign, in my view, that they're congregating, waiting a piece of action. So let's have a look at this frame here. This is where the whole thing will come to an end, and I find there's actually eggs in. And that's interesting. I'm thinking I might need more, might need better glasses, getting old. Have a look at another frame. There's no eggs on that frame. I can hear quite a lot of noise. and there's no eggs or brood on that one. No. A few abortive queen caps. No, there's nothing, no action there by the look of it. And I don't know if you can hear, there are definitely sounds, a lot of noise, sounds like a crowd roaring in the background. Nothing there. The danger is a colony like this, see there's a lot of honey in here, the danger is a colony like this could immediately start laying workers, and no, I would say they're almost definitely queenless now. I can hear it, but I am going to do the gold standard test, so I'm just going to go and swipe a frame of eggs and brood from another box, one over there, and I'll be back in a couple of moments. Sorry for the slight intermission, I shan't edit it out. I'm not doing a Blue Peter. Right, so what I've got here is a frame of some emerging brood or capped brood, and there are eggs, day-old eggs in some of these cells, and some 2-day-old stuff as well. So I'm just going to take this frame off. Out, hang on, there we go. Take that one away. I saw a Mankey frame in there. Let's have that off. Let's take that Mankey frame off. That one. No, that's alright. Not very nice frame. It's not a very nice frame, it's got a hole in it. So we'll just knock the bees back in. Shake them off. There we are. And I'll prop the frame of eggs and brood in there. Now they'll be so excited by the brood, they'll start making a queen cell, hopefully, out of that almost immediately. When I check sort of Thursday, Friday, we'll know. So I'm going to put a couple of crosses on there. I'll put test, and that is the gold standard test for queenlessness. They will do something with that. Okay, so there we are. That's the test. So we will have a look later in the week to see what's going on. So a frame of eggs is a very useful tool to find out what's going on. So we just put the queen, put that back on top, queen excluder on. I'll put the supers back on because they're still working. There's a lot of bees in here and there seems to be a little bit of a flow on at the moment, so I'll get on and do it because there's nothing better to do. Yeah, there's some stores coming in there. As you can see, they're quite happy. The problem is that if you don't spot they're queenless, the colony ages quite rapidly and then you reach a point of collapse, and the worst possible case scenario in my view is you get laying workers and you get drone brood everywhere. So and that's it. Now I've got a feeling that I may not have shown you that. So yes, there's lots of stores in there and they're working quite